I really enjoy doing floral arrangements. This one I did for my entryway. I hope you're doing something that you really enjoy. Something that really, really makes you fulfilled deep inside. I know of a way that you can be sure that you're doing that. It has to do something with another spiritual law. This spiritual law would say that love never fails. In other words, your motivation for doing whatever you're doing needs to be a motivation of love and compassion for the people that you're doing it for. Or maybe even for God, that you're doing it for God, that you love God so much. That's what motivates you to do what you do. Well, are you a manager or a leader? Are you responsible for people underneath you? This law of love never failing is very important to you then, because the people underneath of you need to know that you care about them. Now, when you took that job, when you were put in that place of authority, what was your motivation for that? Were you excited to lead this group of people to a better place, to make things better for their lives as well as yours? Or were you driven by the money that it offered you? Or if it was in politics, were you driven by the power and the fame that you might receive from that? When you're driven by a thirst for power or more money or fame, you usually end up really unsatisfied and constantly toiling and reaching and grabbing for more money, more fame, more power. And it doesn't end up well. It won't lead to anything. It'll leave you frustrated, tired, dissatisfied, and your life won't be happy. But if your motivation is love and compassion, you end up feeling very fulfilled. When you go and you get to know each of the people that you are put in authority over, get to know their lives, what are their callings, what do they need to help them become what they're called to be, then you share in that, allow them to have the development, the training, and all that they need to have to be a better team underneath of you, then that will make you a better leader. And your department then will become a better department because you are taking time to take interest in what each individual under you needs. And then they will see that you care about them. Well, now, what if you're saying, yes, but if you knew the people that worked under me, you could care less about what their future is. But think about it. If there are people who are very hard-hearted, mean, cruel, maybe it's because they've never had love introduced to them before. Maybe nobody has ever looked at them and tried to get to know them and figure out the value that's in their life and then pull that value out and make it evident that they can work on that value. Each person has a strength in something. Yes, we all have weaknesses, and a lot of times it's a waste of time to try to better those weaknesses. It's more important to focus on that one strength that you have. So what if you took the time to get to know that mean, grouchy person on your team and find out the value in that person? What does that person really do well more than anything else? And then pull that strength out and help them to develop that strength. They will be so glad that you spent the time to actually see value in them and to show them love and compassion no matter their reaction. They will be very, very thankful that you are their authority figure, you are their manager, you're the one in charge of their team, and they'll probably change. They'll probably be a little bit more softer in the heart and softer in the attitude once they find out that you really sincerely believe they have value. So, as a manager, as a leader, as someone in authority, you will feel more fulfilled, you'll feel more happy, and you'll be changing lives at the same time. But there's an important key that you have to remember. God Himself is love. The Bible said that God is love. So when you're pouring out all this love, you may find out that your love runs short with people, because people can be kind of mean, they can, kind of question your motives and all that. So you need help. And the help that you would need would be God Himself. So call upon God to help you have that deep, compassionate love that can see through all the junk and all the attitudes and things like that, and ask God to help you, because God's love never fails. His love is powerful enough to really, really love people when they're not very lovable. Don't depend on your own love. Remember that, because you could get really frustrated and you could even get hurt. Depend on God's love. When someone's really upset at you, speaking mean to you, just go in the other room, calm down, and ask God, God, I really am having a hard time loving this person right now. Could you help me? And you'll be amazed at the peace that comes over you to allow you to have that patience and that endurance to turn around, go back in, and love on that person even though they're not loving you. The Bible also says that even if you're very, very intelligent, even if you're very, very generous and give everything to the poor, even if your faith can just move mountains, if you do not have love, if you're not motivated by love, you're nothing. All that counts for nothing if you're not motivated by love. That's the value that God places on love. And that's the motivation that will always make sure that you succeed. Even if it doesn't look like it's working, you'll be surprised. If you just hang in there and keep loving no matter what the response is to you, if you keep loving, keep being kind, keep being patient with people, it will eventually pay off. Love is the key. If you're motivated by loving those people, really sincerely caring what their life is going to turn out to be, then you won't fail.